Good morning. Happy, oh, what day is it? Tuesday. Happy Tuesday, FlossTube. Hello, crafty friends. My name's Caroline. Welcome back. Daily Crafty Chat. And the 22nd day of Flossmas. I was hoping to knit a few stitches into my stripy sock while we had a little chat this morning. I am on the white stripe. I haven't knit anything on this since the last time I shared it, so that's why I thought it might be. I'm on a bit of a coffee break at the moment, so I thought it would be a good time to just pop in a few stitches. So what do we want to start with today? I've received some Christmas cards in the mail from a few people, and so I thought I would say thank you and share them so that you guys could see how pretty they are. I'm a terrible Christmas card sender. I'll be very upfront in saying that. I always have been, and it's one of those things, you know, there's always something between you and your spouse that bothers you about the other person, and I know it has always bothered John that I am so terrible at sending out Christmas cards, because his mother was the Christmas card queen. She would send out over 100 Christmas cards every year. She would get started in November, because she wouldn't just send a card with a signature on it. She would send a Christmas handwritten, individualized letter to every single person that she mailed a Christmas card. That's a hard act to follow, let me tell you. So I loved my mother-in-law Bridget dearly, but I could never live up to the Christmas card sending. So yes, and I've never been I would always get organized too late and then throw up my hands and say, well, there you go. So I'm always grateful that there are still a few people left in the world who will send me a Christmas card, because I'm terrible at returning the favor. You may get a postcard in July, but you probably won't get a Christmas card. It's just one of those things. I've always been terrible at it. I don't know why, but I love getting them. So there's a correlation there. I might get a few more if I would send out some, but I did receive some really beautiful cards. So let me share just a couple of these. I got one from my friend Jessica Jane, who used to live here in London, and now she's moved a little bit further away, but I met her through, she was a viewer of the Fiber Friends podcast, and Jessica now watches me here over on the cross-stitching channel, though this is, let's face it, it's crafty chat. I chat about whatever it is that I happen to be making, not just cross stitch. She sent me this beautiful cutout card. Can you see all of the detail in the front of this card? It's all cut out. Look at that. It's beautiful. I mean, this is a gorgeous card. So, and what other thing I like, Jessica sends a card. I haven't opened this one yet. This was tucked inside this one, because every year she has sent the Fiber Friends each a card, and I'm going to save this to open when I finally get to record with Louise and Cheryl. I think we are going to try again on Wednesday morning, and hopefully my internet connection will allow us to do that. So Jessica, I haven't opened that yet. It is still tucked safely inside my other card. So beautiful. It's just such a pretty card. Then I received this beauty in the mail from my twin in Nova Scotia, Jan. She chose this card because she thought that that was the closest she could get to a dog that reminded her of Luna. And there's our humongous family Christmas tree in the back of the truck. So I thought that was really funny. And this one's got the glitter on it. So pretty. Jan, I loved it. And thank you for the lovely note inside. Much appreciated. I received a card from Pam. Look at this. Isn't that beautiful? What a lovely card. It's, you know, these unexpected notes that you get from, you know, people who, you know, touch upon your life in these small ways, and, you know, think enough of each other that that you would take the time to send me a card and a really kind note. And Pam, thank you. Thank you. I received a card from Amy, Miss Amy Baruch. You can follow, she has a wonderful Instagram feed. I will try to remember to link her down below in the description box. Amy's stitching. She also does, she builds little miniature models. I think she's completed one. It was from a kit. It made me immediately want to buy one of my own. I literally had to tell myself no because where am I going to put that? I don't have room. You know what I mean. It's one more rabbit hole that I'm trying to avoid, but boy, did I like looking at hers. So Amy Baruch, and she has a hairless cat. I can't remember the name of the cat, but literally on her Instagram feed, this cat is so adorable. And look at the Christmas card. It's her cat. This made me laugh when I opened that. It's dressed up. Look at that. That is so sweet. So Amy, thank you. Thank you very much. Just lovely. Okay, I received one more thing in the mail. This was very unexpected. And this was from my friend Michelle. Michelle lives not that far away from me, and just a beautiful, beautiful letter and a little package that she sent along here that I really need to share. So I met Michelle a number of years back because she lives in one of the small towns that we drive through to go to the cottage. And so she had messaged me and said, you know, if you're ever passing through X, you know, we should get together for a coffee or something. And, you know, we did. Not last summer, but the summer before. So 2019. Is that right? It must have been 2019. And we met at a Tim Hortons and we had a coffee together, and she was everything that I expected that she would be. She was just lovely. And Michelle has sent me a little holiday package here. So a beautiful card with a letter inside. She sent some tea. These are, this one I've had before and it is delicious. This is the Stash Chocolate Orange. And in fact, I had forgotten about this tea. So Michelle, I'm really glad you sent this because it was a reminder of how much I like this one. This is delicious. I think I may have even bought a box of this to send out with bags a few years back. Oh, it's just, that's a wonderful one. This one I've never tried and it looks so good. Chocolate hazelnut decaf tea. So another Stash tea. I have bought these before on Amazon. I know you can get the Stash teas through Amazon. If that sounds like it sounds as delicious to you as it does to me. This one I have had, but not again. I haven't bought, see, here's the thing. The last time I bought tea, I bought a humongous box of Christmas in Paris, which is, it's one of my favorite teas as well. But I had so much of it that I was trying to hold off on buying more tea. And so I haven't bought myself any of this one yet this year. And this is a delicious herbal tea. It's peppermint tea, kind of, you know, the sort of, not spices, but what is it? Peppermint and, okay, let me take my glasses off to read this. Oh, yum. Okay, cinnamon, orange peel, spearmint, vanilla extract, orange oil, cinnamon flavor, and clove flavor. I think I'm gonna have to order another box of this because I know that once I have this, I'm going to want some more. So this is really, really a nice tea. Yeah, love that one. I think Michelle has been watching the daily videos. These are Smarties. This is how they come in Canada. So this is what Smarties look like. Now I know other countries have Smarties as well. Do your boxes look the same as ours? In fact, our packaging, I haven't had a box that looked like this yet. This is new packaging for us. It says same amount, less packaging. Normally, not normally, but I guess it used to be, the boxes were slightly thinner and a little bit longer. So they've made the boxes shorter now. So let me open this up. I know, I'm showing you Smarties on floss tube. So, there. It's a green one. So let's see if that matches. Does that match? Look at that. Oh, that's pretty good. Thank you, Michelle. Okay, so there were Smarties and there was some tea. Look at this. Look at that. Oh, Michelle, I love this so much. She stitched an ornament for me. Look at that cup. There are beads on there. Can you see the beads? Look at those beautiful beads. This fabric has sparkle in it. It's got a little bit of sparkle in the fabric, and it's so pretty. Look at, you have to see I have to try and get that sparkle to show up. It's not catching it very well. There's just a hint of sparkle in the fabric. I think you can see it a little bit, and that coffee cup is just perfect. And this trim, this cording that's on here is so pretty, and she finished it so beautifully. Here's the fabric on the back. Look at that. Just a perfect little touch of Christmas fabric. There's a jingle, it's a jingle bell on there. And oh, it's just so pretty. So she told me the pattern information in the card. This is an ornament design from Shannon Christine. So I think it's Shannon Christine Designs. And Michelle, I love it. So it's going right on my tree. Going right on my tree. I love it. Now she also tucked in an extra little goodie here. Look at this. These things, wow, are they ever useful? This is from Bags Plus. Yeah, it's a bendy flip from Bags Plus, and the sheep made me think of you. Look at them. They're cute. Look at those sheep. So I think these are wonderful. I was lucky enough to receive one from Carrie in Australia. She had made me one, and I use it all the time. I've been using it for my Savon project. So this, I think, because what's so great about these is that you can just keep them right beside your stitching, and you don't have to, I don't know, the way that I organize my floss, it's hard to describe, but I've always got little piles of, you know, circles of floss next to me. And that's why it was so great to receive Carrie's with Savon, because then you just stick them back in the little pockets and then you don't have to worry about them. I would often find the floss on the floor because, you know, you'd put your pattern on top of it and forget that you had the little round of floss left over waiting for you to use it to stitch, and it would get knocked off onto the floor. But when they're tucked inside, clearly that's not going to happen. I think I'm going to put this with my mitten because that's the one other project that I'm doing right now that has a few multiple colors, and it's perfect for just a few of them. There is also room in the back. You can tuck your chart inside. Isn't that cute? So it's a bendy flip. Now I've seen Michelle show these, but I've never had one from Bags Plus, and it's really nice. It's well made. I like it. Michelle, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This is a real treasure. Love it. So that's going on my tree. Okay, I have yet to actually knit a stitch on my sock. So let's put 2 stitches in and then I'll show you my stitching that I did last night. So maybe just a few. I can't do just one. I haven't even fully completed the first round of white. Can you hear Luna? She's snoring like crazy. I have yet to take her out for a walk. We'll do that in a little bit. The weather here has been really funny today. It was sunny and then it was rainy and now it's just gray. But literally the sun came out when that little bit of video that I just took of the holly that's out front of my house and Luna through the window. It was sunny. And then pretty much right after I came back inside, the sun went away and it rained. And now it's just gray. So I don't know, it feels like we haven't had a lot of sun over the last month. So that little teeny tiny bit of sunshine that I had while I was outside it felt really nice. Okay, I have just gotten around. Oop, I keep splitting the yarn here. Okay, so I finally completed that one round. This is the 12 Days of Christmas sock yarn, self-striping sock yarn from Timber Yarns. And Timber Yarns is an Ontario dyer. Their sock yarn comes, well, this particular set that I bought came in 2 50-gram skeins, and there's my first one. So I started these at the beginning of December. I had big plans to knit a stripe a day. Oh, well. So last night I worked on Savon, and because I'm determined to have that 24-hour, I'm stitching. Okay, so let me show you first, since I'm waving it in front of the camera here. I did quite a bit of fill-in in here, and I worked a little bit more on extending the black 310 of the border, moving to the right. So as this is the halfway point, I am stitches away from a complete quarter completion. Literally stitches away. I'll be completing that this evening and then moving forward. I have been working on a 24-hour rotation on my, well, really it's been on this piece. I did it for a couple of other pieces, but this is the one that I keep going back to, so that I'm really trying to get it finished. And I think I've left my phone in the other room. It was charging. So I think I'm down to about just under 9 hours. I think I'm at about 8 hours, 45 minutes left on this 24-hour rotation. And I want to finish that up before the end of the year. And then one of my first goals in 2021 is to finish that project. Yeah, because, well, it's beautiful and I want to finish it. I didn't tell you the details on it, did I? I'm sorry. If you're new here and you've never seen this before, this is a design by Landmark Tapestries and Charts. It's called Savon, and that's spelled S-E-V-A-N. And you know, it's geometric, so the rest of the design that I've already stitched is rolled up here in my scroll rod. So when I'm done my 24-hour rotation, I will take it off the frame and I'll open it up and I'll show it to you. So that should happen before the end of the year. And I'm stitching this on a 16 count off-white Aida with 2 strands of DMC and all of the called for colors. So I'm going to bring it up close so that you can see my stitching, because I'm often asked, and I always forget, people want to see the stitching close up because, you know, how's the coverage? Well, that's why when the other ones that are framed in my stairwell, you'll see them all at the end of the video. If you let the video play through, I have the ones that I have completed from this collection. They hang in my stairwell and they're in the video at the end because of an auction that I'm running. I'll tell you a little bit more in a minute. And the coverage 2 strands, 16 count is totally fine when you look at it from here. When you bring it up close, you can see that the coverage isn't absolutely 100% perfect, perfect. I think you can see that pretty well. But frankly, are you ever going to be this close to the stitching? No, you're not. You're going to be looking at it and enjoying it on your wall from about this distance. It's one of the funniest things I always remember about my friend Kathy. I'd go to see her in the store and I'd be complaining about I used to really struggle with, oh, I have an eyelash on that. I used to really struggle with coverage and be, you know, if it wasn't absolutely covering every scrap of original fabric coming through the floss, I wasn't happy with it and I wanted to redo it or choose a different fabric. And she would take it from me and she would step back a few feet and she'd hold it up and she'd say, what do you think? And 9 times out of 10, I'd be like, oh, it's fine, I love it. And she would always do that before she would say, okay, that 1 time out of 10, okay, now let's help you choose a different fabric and different floss or whatever, so that you can get the coverage that you're looking to achieve. So when we have such a critical eye about our own stitching, it's natural because we spend hours of time with the stitching this close to our faces. So of course we see every single flaw and error. But whenever I find myself thinking, oh, this doesn't quite look as good as I wanted it to look, I will make myself step back, hold it, and I hear Kathy. I literally hear her voice in my head going, how about now? Do you like it now? Or what does it look like? And it always makes me smile. So that is Savon. And yes, I cannot wait to finish that. I can't wait to finish it. I have 4 more in that collection in my stash to stitch. I already have the Ada for it. I bought everything all at once years and years and years ago. I bought all the charts. I bought all of the fabric. The floss is just DMC, so I just buy the, I don't mean it's just DMC. I mean that because I love DMC. You buy DMC, the colored lots don't tend to change, but because it's readily available, that's why I didn't buy it all at the same time, because, well, I don't have a limitless budget. So the floss I will buy at the time that I start the project, and because it's DMC, you can find it, you know, when you need it. So yeah, I love that. So the auctions, that's my last little bit of information to share today. Just a reminder that I am raising money this month in conjunction with Patty Break, pretty sure that's right. Things lately have been sounding wrong to me, and it's probably that they've always been wrong and I just don't pay attention. Anyways, it's neither here nor there. So I'm raising money for Muscular Dystrophy Canada in connection or conjunction with Patty Break of 4 boys and a Newfoundland girl, and she has been designing the Flossmas ornament for the last 3 years. And so the holiday 2020 Flossmas ornament, 50% of all proceeds are donated to Muscular Dystrophy Canada. We have already raised over $400. With those chart sales alone, there is a link in the drop down box below. That is the chart that you see at the beginning of every single one of my Flossmas videos. And yes, I still have yet to start mine. That's okay. And the other way that I'm raising some money is that I am running some auctions over on my Instagram page, which is at Off the Grid Needlearts. I have another Instagram page for my project bag business, which is at Evertotes, but the auctions can be found on the Instagram page at Off the Grid Needlearts. The reason why I've been focusing on Savon last night and today is because one of the auction items is a $100 shopping spree at CelticHobbies.com. So CelticHobbies.com is the online shop owned by Claire Crawford, and Claire has one of the only places that you can find these charts. So meeting her has been amazing because she also has a small connection to muscular dystrophy, and it's a cause that's near and dear to her as well. So for the last year, she has been donating $1 of every Savon pattern sale to Muscular Dystrophy Canada. So she has the line of landmark tapestries and charts available on her site, and so that's where I recommend buying these charts in case you have also fallen in love with these charts and you'd like to stitch them as well. Trust me, do not judge a book by its cover, because the cover photos on these designs, I'll be blunt, they're awful. They're terrible. They are terrible. They are computer generated photos of the design. The colors are not true to what actually you end up with. And frankly, the charted colors are fantastic. I mean, it's a close approximation, but it's not anything like what you're going to end up with in reality. And they are fantastic. There's a stained glass collection. There's a wild iris, there's an iris and a sunflower. My friend Virtuti has stitched the sunflower. I have the sunflower in my stash. I think I put 2 stitches into a new start. It's gorgeous. And I have stitched the iris. I've shown it before. If I remember, I'll try to pull it off the wall and show it to you tomorrow, because it's another gorgeous chart. And so these are available through Claire. And so one of the auction items is a $100 shopping spree. Now, Claire left a message on, it was either a video or the original Instagram post. I think it was on the video where I talked about it last week. She says that she's also going to include a few extra goodies in your package. So not only will you be getting the charts that you select, but there will be a few extra surprises in your package as well. So it's something really worth bidding on if you're so inclined. You'll be getting a special package. So that is the one item, and the other item that is up for bid from last week. Sorry, I went and I grabbed it so that I could, just because it's right here. And I'm sorry, I do have it in a protective sleeve. Crinkle, crinkle. Okay, so I have, the other item up for bid is a set of Snapperland charts from Bent Creek. There are 16 of the charts. They've never been used. These were given to me by Kathy, of my friend who I mention all the time, who was the owner of Thread and Eye, which used to be my local needlework shop. She had taken these out of their inventory to keep for themselves to stitch, and then she realized that they would probably never stitch them, so she gave them to me to either destash, and I thought these were a pretty fantastic auction item. So there is some slight marking from price tags being removed on a couple of the charts. So the outside of them is not pristine, but they've never been stitched. They're not marked up, and each one of them includes the original package of, I hope that that's gonna focus there, the snaps. All of the snaps are included. I had a question on the original video on these, what are the snaps for and why are they called Snapperland? The snaps are just a fun part of the design. So you can see in this one, this is the cottage, the spring cottage. The snaps are used, let me bring this up nice and close. The snaps are used as little flowers. See, there's one of them. And here's the other one over there. So they're part of the design, and it's a little running theme throughout all of the Snapperland charts. They're really, really sweet. And so this is the second item that's up for auction, and it was suggested that I incorporate a couple extra little goodies, excuse me, to sweeten the deal, as it were. And so I will be including a notions pouch made by me, Caroline of Evertote, and you can choose the fabric. Whoever wins the bid, I'll send you a photo of, you know, 5 or 6 fabrics, and you can pick what fabric you would like. So a little notions pouch will come with it. I have some extra floss left over from the holiday collection. So this one is the this is $8.95. So this is DMC $8.95. I also still have some $4.98, which is the more, it's like the Christmas red. Well, it's my idea of Christmas red. Everybody's got their own idea of Christmas red. So $4.98 or $8.95, either or. If you love green, if you hate green, I'll send you the other color. And then I will make you a needle minder with your initial on it. So I just happen to have a T here, so I thought I'd share this one. So whatever your initial is, I'll make you a needle minder, and that will come with the auction item. Oh, and a packet of Timmy's hot chocolate too. You can have one of those. So those are up for auction. The auction on those 2 different items ends tomorrow, Wednesday, December 23rd at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is when I will be closing off the bidding for both of those items, and I have 2 or 3 more items to list tomorrow. So they will be listed later in the day because I still have to sort out one of the items is coming from me, and I have to finalize what that's going to be. So I'm a little underprepared for that. So I will be prepared by tomorrow afternoon or evening. Okay, so that is it for me today. I will be sewing for the rest of today. I am still working hard on all of the Marcel, Leo, and Roxy floss collection sets that I did send out a box yesterday. So because we are headed into lockdown on Boxing Day here in Ontario, Canada, I will be trying to keep things to a minimum. So I will aim to send out 1 big box per week, probably either Monday or Tuesday or a Friday, depending on how the work is going, and also depending on the holiday schedule around here. So I do intend to have all of those pre-ordered bags out by, you know, the end of the 2nd week of January at the very latest. They will be out and in the mail. And that's what I'm working on over the next couple of days. I'm still sewing, cutting and sewing. I had mentioned that I was going to have some help with the cutting. That is no longer possible. Numbers have been rising, and so that is now just not a possibility. So now I'm doing all the work. So there's a little bit of extra cutting and piece work to be done by me, but I still plan to have everything out the door on time. So the Leo and Roxy floss will be starting to arrive on your doorstep, in your mailboxes, if you were part of the pre-order from December the 10th. So that's what I'm up to today and tomorrow, and just getting ready for a quiet holiday celebration here. And with that, I'll say goodbye for today, and I will see you tomorrow. I hope that you're well. I hope you're staying safe, and that you have a little bit of time for yourself today to do some crafting. And I will see you tomorrow. Take care, everybody. Happy stitching.